Larry Sparano is on the line, and I'm sure if the wealth tax goes through, he'll have to go from 3 butlers down to maybe just 2. And I'm not sure how many private jets he has at the moment, but Larry, are you going to be okay?
Well, no, I think it's entirely unfair for me to be deprived of my ill-gotten wealth,
I
which I
see.
accumulated by bribery, by corruption, by subterfuge. It's part of the American system which I took advantage of. So what is the big deal? I should be lauded for my
Right, right,
initiative.
right,
In
right.
America, we all, or at least sometimes, we have an equal opportunity to be corrupt.
To be
That's
corrupt,
how we
right,
get rich.
right, right. So what do you think, though? What do you think about her plan? You think it's going to fly?
Yeah, I think Richard Wolff made a lot of good points, and
Uh-huh.
you always hear this story, where I made it on my own, and
Right,
so could
right,
everybody else if they just knuckle down and worked hard. Baloney. Nobody
right,
makes it on their own. They make it first of all through the infrastructure that everybody pays taxes for. They
right.
make it through all these mechanisms that you take advantage of in building a business. So, one thing I have to give Hillary Clinton for reluctantly is, it takes a village. It takes a village not only to raise a family, it also takes a village to build a business.
Right.
And what happened, it's so classic, Ken. Those who make it supposedly on their own, they forget where they came from, or they lose all empathy for those people who are still where they were when
Right,
they started
right,
out.
right,
They make it on their own, and if you haven't made it, too bad for you. The hell with you. I've got mine. Too bad that you don't have yours. It's such a rationalization, and people buy into this. Courtesy in part of Fox News. That's the doctrine. Why tax the rich? They're the ones that create jobs. They're the ones that create baloney. More and more, they're not creating jobs. What they're doing is manufacturing stuff abroad and
right.
depleting the jobs in America and making lots of profit, personal profit for themselves without building the economy. But that's the myth that's perpetrated by a lot of these so-called self-made millionaires and billionaires and by outlets like Fox News.
Yeah. I mean, do you think politically, though, I mean, she's done pretty well with the idea. I mean, it's really caught on. And I forget what the percentage is, but more than 50% of Americans want it to happen.
Elizabeth Warren's plan.
Yeah, yeah, her plan. Yeah,
Well, I'm glad to see that it's growing. I haven't been up on the latest polls, but I think she's presented it better now,
yeah,
and just the repetition, is helping people understand more. But of course, she's being slammed with the socialist label, as anybody who's trying to equalize the tax burden is being
right.
slammed with. Uh, you know, so Social Security you could depict as socialism.
Sure,
We want to
sure.
dump that. Medicare, a lot of these those are socialist programs if you want to define them that way. But it's not socialism in the sense that we're taking from the rich, redistributing the wealth for people who are on the dole.
Right.
It's that's the way they shoot this down all the time. Now, we've been doing a few bits on this in the last few weeks. I've been getting a lot of responses that, well, I don't understand. People think that when I said that Andrew Wang is going to be painted with socialism, I'm not saying that his program is socialism. I'm saying that's how it's going to be depicted, and
Right.
that's how they're going to criticize him because
Right.
that's the company line. Everything is socialism. If you try to make the rich pay their fair share of taxes. I mean, it's absurd, the inequity now. And,
Yeah.
this is how revolutions start.
No,
You
I
have an
agree.
underclass more and more beleaguered. You have French Revolution, the Russian Revolution, so on and so forth. But then what happens is you create a hotbed of radicals that take control, and then they forget where they came from. Stalin is a good example of that. He was
Right.
a
Right.
peasant, and he became such a brutal, uncaring, insensitive dictator. He was responsible for the deaths of millions of people in Russia. Some of
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
millions of them, starved to death under his programs. He didn't care. This
Yeah.
is what happens with these people. They become self-aggrandized,
Right.
and in their head they think, because they did it, they should be in control, and the heck with everybody else.
Yeah. All right, sir. Well, thank you for your words of wisdom. And and we'll
Well,
talk tomorrow.
Ken, I have to board my private jet, which is on my runway behind my
Oh,
house.
right.
I have to go to Aruba for a
All
little,
right.
but I'll try to call you from Aruba tomorrow.
Okay, good.
All right?
Take
Okay.
care. See you now. Bye-bye.